ourselves this morning. Congratulations. It's a big milestone. But how we choose to dress ourselves is really a big decision. It's a conscious decision. We all woke up this morning, we all dressed ourselves, and we all made a decision. I'm going to wear this top with these pants, with these shoes, right? This is all a conscious decision. And it's why we make these decisions. It's a conscious decision of how we want to be represented. It is a representation of the values we believe in. And I really thought that clothing could be a representation of our values, and it could connect people together, right? And so I wanted to make a clothing company that was Canada's most caring clothing company. And you know what? It didn't, it started out really small, right? It's so easy to start a clothing company. You saw it right there. Google search how to make a t-shirt company, watch a YouTube video, a couple hours, you got a clothing company, right? The hard part is actually growing a clothing company. How do you get your customers? How do you build new products? How do you come up with new designs? And that can be really, really hard, really complex, but that's where the fun is, right? And I'll never forget, I pushed it out on all these different platforms. I just kept trying this, tweaking that, trying that. And one thing worked, a lot of things didn't work. My dad bought a t-shirt because I think he felt bad. My best friend, he felt even worse for me, so he bought one. But then, 2, maybe even 3 weeks after, a complete stranger bought a t-shirt. And I was like, I looked up the order number, I looked up who they were, what they did for a living, where they lived, all the details. I was like, no, I definitely do not know this person. This was a complete stranger. And it blew my mind that there was a stranger out there I'd never met. They don't care anything about me, but they saw something. Maybe it was a little glimpse of the t-shirt that I made, whether it was they liked the color, they liked the cut, they liked the design, whatever. Something that I liked about the shirt that I put it, they also liked, and that resonated with them, and they put their hard-earned money to buy one. That gave me the best feeling I've ever felt in my life. And from that point on, I was completely addicted. And I just, how can I get another one of these deals? How can I connect with another group of people? How can I use this company as a way to give back and build community? And it just got me really, really excited. And I've never felt anything that ignited a passion inside me quite like this before, right? I'd played sports, I played video games and all this sort of stuff, but nothing, because this was completely mine, and I could shape and mold it however I want it. And that got me really excited about the potential. The potential is infinite. You can do whatever you want. And so a big thing for us was, we want to showcase that just because we're a small business doesn't mean we can't have a big impact. It really we looked at all these companies, these ginormous companies writing $1 million checks, and handing them out to charities and shaking hands and kissing babies. And I was like, that's really great. I don't have $1 million to write a check. Maybe one day, but I definitely don't right now. And it got me thinking that it doesn't matter how big or small you are, right? It doesn't matter if you can give $1 or $1 million. But if you can just give just a little bit here, a little bit more there, maybe a little bit there, it can all add up, right? I came to the realization that just because I'm a small business doesn't mean I can't have a big impact, right? So yes, we might not be able to donate $1 million all at once, but over time, you better believe that we're going to be able to donate $1 million across all the donations we've made. So it started with, $100 to the food bank, $100 to the drop-in center, volunteering, a couple hours here, volunteering a couple hours there. That's been our mission, and we're now close to over $200,000 raised for local charities. I didn't write a $200,000 check. I wrote checks in $100, $200, volunteering time, So I wanted to showcase that just because we're a small business doesn't mean we can't have a big impact, right? Just because you're just starting out, or just because you're doing this in life or doing that in life doesn't mean you can't have a big impact, right? Your impact is as big as you want it to be. And I got a big goal that I have in mind. We want to raise $1 million for local charities by 2030. So that's exactly what we're doing. Next slide, please. So we started to grow the company. We started to grow the brand. That one stranger who bought us turned into 2 strangers who bought us, and then another stranger. And then I moved back to Canada, and I met my business partner. You remember him. He's the smart one. And his name was Dustin. And that was the best part, because he was really good at things that I wasn't good at, right? I'm not very good at the money, finance side of things, but he's really good at that. You know, he might not be as good as the passion or the ideas, but I can do that. And so he was able to kind of help me figure out all the things that I needed to figure out. And we were able to share this vision, share this goal, share this company. And that was where we really were able to grow. Because that was one thing I learned. You don't have to do everything yourself. Sometimes you know what my biggest secret power, my superpower is? My biggest secret weapon that I have in my back pocket at all times is asking for help, right? I'll be the first one to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Explain to me like I'm 5 years old. No idea. I need help for the most basic things. And people will help, but you just have to be able to ask for it. And at that time, I needed help growing the company, and he was able to come on board. So we started growing it, you know, more online sales, stores started reaching out. Can we carry your product? Can we buy your product? Next thing we know, we're in malls, we're in Marks, and this thing is growing. We think we're like the smartest people in the world, and this is amazing, and we're having so much fun. And keep in mind, it's growing, but it's not even our full-time job yet. We both still have full-time jobs. We're building this on the side, and maybe one day we'll go full-time, and we're having a blast doing this. And where's this going to go? I don't know, but we're having fun doing it. You know, we get to collaborate with like Lululemon, with all, you know, with Olympic athletes. We're meeting our heroes. We're meeting other small businesses, donating to charities. Like, it's just we're having the time of our lives. We're not making a ton of money personally, but you know what? We're passionate. We